As we take a look at what happened in last week's media day over at the Signal TV headquarters, and the Spiker Surf Open Conference 2025 is just about to begin its game day number 2, and we see the Criss Cross King Crunchers and the Alpha Insurance Protectors all set to face each other in our third and final match this Sunday tripleheader inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum at 6 p.m. All happening on One Sports Plus and of course on Pilipinas Live. Dip Bianco alongside Coach Ronnie Magsanong calling this match. Coach Ronnie, we know that this is going to be a fast tournament, less than 2 months of play, which is why each game is very important for all of the teams.
Only 16 play dates comprising this conference, and these two teams are a part of the 6-man field, and only 4 of the 6 teams competing will make it to the semifinals.
Now we look forward to how it will all pan out for these teams. So far, after the games that happened earlier, this is the updated team standings in our tournament.
A total of 10 games per team all the way to the final 4. Right now keeping in step with the pace setter, Signal HD Spikers, who won earlier with 3 straight sets against the Savage Pin Doctors, is top of mind for Criss Cross King Crunchers, keeping in step and becoming a pace setter as well. Meanwhile, for Alpha Insurance Protectors, looking for a king-size upset and register their first win of the competition.
Well, let's talk about the Criss Cross King Crunchers first and foremost. Clean slate for them in their last game, overwhelming in their straight set victory that happened last Friday in our opener against VNS.
And this is a team which finished in the second spot for 2 straight conferences in the last Spikers Turf season, looking to get that gold medal eventually from 8-time champion Signal HD Spikers in this particular 72-minute match. They were overpowering offensively, in spite of the fact that they did not have Isay Marasigan and Nico Almendras, who was in his wedding. They were able to get that huge advantage of plus 26 in all scoring skills, overwhelming in attack points, likewise plus 3 in blocks, plus 2 in aces. And we talk about the dig count, they had 19 compared to only 7 for VNS. All in all, definitely a one-sided game, a dominant performance in favor of the Criss Cross Crunchers.
And we know, Coach Ronnie, that they are a deep team. So as you mentioned, even without some of their key players, someone stepped up for them, and that was Jaron Requinton, who came in like a wrecking ball in that match.
Seize the day, seize the moment for the double bronze medalist in beach volleyball in the Southeast Asian Games. Comes from Santa Maria, Bulacan, found daylight as he had a rare start for Coach Tai Bundit. And definitely he was a bright light. 12 of 27, he had 12 of his team's 42 attack points. Tied with Jude Garcia in terms of the leader in terms of blocks for Criss Cross, and he gave us a glimpse on how good he was when he used to play for UST in the UAAP.
A next man up mentality for Jaron Requinton, who was ready to play for Coach Taibun and contributed 15 points. As we mentioned, lipat tayo sa kabila for Alpha Insurance, who are making their debut in the Spiker Surf. Kung yung Criss Cross won in straight sets this time around, yung Alpha Insurance naman lost in straight sets against a tough opponent in the Signal HD Spikers.
Yes, a little over an hour. They tried to pull off that third set win, but eventually came up short and lost that set 25-23. In terms of attack points, they were 5 points behind. In terms of blocks, they were 7 blocks less. In terms of aces, they gave up 5 more, and those were key points that went against them in their bid to at least gain a set from the 8-time Spikers Turf champions. They will try to be better in this match, but again, they are up against a powerhouse team.
Yep.
Hopeful that somehow they can get a set away from this mighty team of Coach Tai Bundit.
Easier said than done, the task at hand for Alpha Insurance Protectors, but they are led by one of the players that we're familiar with coming off the FEU program in the UAAP. JJ Havilona had a double-digit output in their first game.
This is a former FEU Tamarao standout, a double bronze medalist in season 85 and in season 86. The pride of Bukidnon. He had one of his team's 4 blocks, one of his team's 3 aces. Eventually had to take over as Ed Camposano was contained to a 6 of 21 clip. 8 of 26 overall for JJ Havilano, who is, by the way, a former UAAP Juniors MVP, trying to make a name for himself here dito sa masukit at mahirap na mundo ng Spikers Turf.
It will take more games for them to be familiar with each other, but they hope to have that sooner than later because of how fast this tournament will be. Let's bring in our courtside reporter, Denise Valdez-Sancho, who will ask our Pilipinas Live question of the game. Go ahead, Denise.
Of course, we love
Introducing the two referees officiating this match. First referee, Joy De Imus, Asian International Referee. Second referee, Bonifacio Abug, National Referee. And now let's meet the starters. First, for the Criss Cross King Crunchers. Opposite hitter number 11, team captain Francis Saura. Outside spiker number 2, Jaron Requinton. Middle blocker number 4, Kim Malabunga. Outside spiker number 5, Jude Garcia. Middle blocker number 7, Rex Intal. And setter number 14, Ish Polvorosa. Starting libero number 22, Manuel Sumangid. Head coach for Criss Cross is Anusorn Tai Buntit. And now the starters for the Alpha Insurance Protectors. Outside spiker number 11, team captain Wawa Camposano. Middle blocker number 3, Billy Anima. Setter number 6, J.M. Apolinario. Outside spiker number 7, J.J. Havelona. Middle blocker number 8, Ray Sabanal. And opposite hitter number 21, Rans Kaholo. Starting libero number 4, Maru Takeda. Head coach for Alpha Insurance is Mike Santos.
We're all set for the matchup between the Criss Cross King Crunchers as we take a look at their starters. Saura, Malabunga, Requinton, Garcia, Intal, Polvorosa, and Sumangid as their libero, led by their head coach, Tai Bundit. Meanwhile, for Alpha Insurance, we have Kaholo, Anima, Camposano, Havelona, Sabanal, Apolinario, and of course, Takeda, their libero. So we're ready to begin this one over on One Sports Plus and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco alongside Coach Ronnie Magsanok covering this one. And our courtside reporter, Denise Valdesancho, is at the sidelines who will give us the updates all throughout the match. Coach Ronnie, this is a game for Criss Cross hoping to maintain and get 2 straight wins. And for Alpha Insurance, they're new conference. It's their first time in the Spikers Turf, hoping to also get their first win.
That's correct. First, trying to extract a set away from Criss Cross. First point of the match being contested right away. And that's how intent Coach Tai Bundit is in keeping in step with the Signal HD Spikers, who won earlier in a tough 3-set win against the Savoj Conductors.
Yeah. All sets were close. Dun sa
yes, could have gone either way, except for the 3rd set. Ball safely in for the 2-time or the back-to-back MVP, Jude Garcia. Also a double bronze medalist for beach volleyball in the Southeast Asian Games together with Ja Requinton, Rongar Basto, among others, and Ranran Abdilia, of course.
And speaking of, Jaron Requinton is at the service line. Camposano will get the first point for Alpha Insurance.
The biggest name for the new team here in the Spikers Turf only had a 6 of 21 clip. Definitely wants to score more and just showcase the kind of talent that he really has.
Formerly of the Navigators in the previous conference. Some of them have moved on to this team. Meanwhile, Malabunga will respond with his first point of the match.
Jude Garcia will score the first point for the King Crunchers at 13 points on 10 of 22. Meanwhile, Kim Malabunga fired 6 points, playing 2 sets against VNS. Meanwhile, itong si Camposano, sabi nga natin, 6 of 21. Scored 8 points in their first loss.
He will be a marked man for sure. Kim Malabunga will get a service ace.
They had a total of aces, 4 service aces against the defense of VNS.
Oh, that one is out for Malabunga, so gets a point and then gives one right back.
1 attack point, 1 service ace so far for the former NU standout. Also a member of the national team.
Polvorosa back sets to Saura, and that's going to be a point.
Clean hit on that reverse set coming from the many-time UAAP best setter and last conference's best setter awardee, Ish Polvorosa, who had a total of 14 excellent sets out of the 16 excellent sets that Criss Cross had against VNS.
Avelona was checked. Polvorosa goes to Garcia, and Jude going for the drop, but Apolinario able to save it.
Tough angle.
Diving for that. Easy over. JM sets up the play. Back with Criss Cross. They go to Requinton, who ends that rally.
Moral lesson, when you have your chance to put that ball away, you have to be able to do so, because in transition on the return play, it's going to be tough. 3-point lead. Largest lead to open up set 1 here in favor of the Crunchers.
5 serving 2. And Francis Saura, last year's Open Conference best opposite spiker.
Nice. Against a single blocker, Caholo scoring his first attack point. Caholo, in their first match, played 2 sets, scored 4 points. Also started out. Ang bagong starter nila ngayon ay si Billy Anima, formerly of Lasal,
Yeah.
taking the place of Jefferson Abuniawan.
Saura. Ball slowed down. Camposano goes for the attack.
Excellent defense by Sumang.
Garcia targets zone 1 and scores off of that.
These are not just big name players. These are decorated players in the Spikers turf, in the UAAP. A loaded roster who suddenly came into the scene and has turned out to be the arch rivals of the many times Spikers turf champions, the Signal HD
Yep.
Spikers.
Oh, free ball. Regalo para kay Jaron Riquinton. He'll take it and give Criss Cross a 4-point advantage.
We talked about the problems for reception for Alpha in that game versus the Signal HD Spikers, giving up 8 service aces while scoring 3 of their own.
7-3. Preliminaries sets up Javelona. Off the block, that's the point.
They only want to score double figures for Alpha. That first game loss, formerly of FEU. Sabi natin kanina, isang MVP when he played for the Baby Tamaraos in high school.
And he now serves 4-7. Polvorosa goes to Intal, covered by Jude. Goes back to Rex. Picked up this time. Oh, that's a lift.
Easy call to make. Just like that, we get to the first technical timeout with a 4-point lead for Criss Cross.
Welcome back. You're still tuned in to the last game of this Sunday's triple header, Criss Cross versus Alpha Insurance Protectors. DIP Coach Ronnie, formed for now a year. Assistant Coach Dolo of the Criss Cross King Crunchers admitted or emphasized rather na bago pa rin kami. Kaya sobrang laking moral booster daw nung huli nilang panalo kontra VNS. Matter of fact, they had a training camp just this January in Calamba for 7 days. Aside from training, they really took the time to focus on their mentals, to release all the energy from the past conference and start fresh, lalo na't with volleyball, labanan daw talaga yan ng utak. And today sets as an example as they go against a new team who is hungrier than ever. Dip, Coach Ronnie.
Thank you, Denise, for that report. Coach Paul Dolores also part of the coaching staff. And yung head coach din siya ng beach volleyball for USC. So some of the players he's handled in the past. And even though they know each other, he knows it's a work in progress.
Correct.
Despite it being magkakakilala sila. Pero if you think about it, pangatlong conference pa lang nila dito sa Spikers turf.
Totoo yan.
There's a challenge on the floor for Criss Cross on the net fault. As you mentioned earlier, Coach Ronnie, back-to-back runners-up for the King Crunchers in last year's conferences, both against the Signal HD Spikers, who won earlier against Savoj. Yung unang laro, mahaba, no? Nag-5 sets. Yung between Navy and TNS.
Correct. Every play date has a triple header. Simply means every team plays in every play date. That's going to be a big challenge for all of these teams.
Right.
But the important thing is to get early wins, one. Number two, keep in step with the pace setters.
Unsuccessful challenge for Criss Cross. There was no net fault in that instance.
That will be 2 straight points here for the green shirts.
And they're only down by 2. Polvorosa goes to Malabunga on the hammer.
Indeed. Like Thor, Malabunga throws down, strikes, bounces. On that slide play, 3-point lead, stops a 2-point run here.
9-6 here in the opening set. Apolinario back sets, and that is Cajolo.
Second point for Cajolo. The opposite hitter, once again isolated against a solitary blocker. Scores off the block. 7 in the set for the Protectors.
Good first ball. They go back to Requinton.
That's confidence coming from Polvorosa. He was masterful and ran their offense to perfection in their last 3-set win. Very first match, good delay. Tremendous angle taken on that line shot coming from Requinton.
That's what you get if you have a beach volleyball player who can both defend and score.
Anytime you play beach volleyball, you have to be a two-way player.
Yeah. Oh, nabalik. Malabunga and Saura teaming up against Camposano.
That's their top gun. Camposano has to get untracked. That's mandatory. Something that must happen and must be consistent to be able to compete well against Criss Cross. Second service error in the set for the King Crunchers.
Unfortunately for Requinton, couldn't get it through. And Alpha Insurance staying within distance, only down by 3 points. In set number 1, Camposano on deck to serve, 8-11. Polvorosa chooses Garcia. And Cajolo unable to track that ball on time.
So many things to deal with when you play the King Crunchers. Multiple points of attack. Back row plays as well. And then the middle hitters. So lethal. And you have that ace playmaker in your mids in Ish Polvorosa.
Malabunga leads all scorers with 4 for Criss Cross. That is a single block for Jude Garcia.
Total of 10 blocks for the King Crunchers against VNS. Jude Garcia with 3, Requinton with 3. This is Requinton's first offensive block here in this match. A 4.
4 points now
4
for Jude.
points, yes.
Avelona, that hits the antenna.
Biggest lead enjoyed by Criss Cross on that last attack error. 6-point lead right now for the White Shirts. This is one thing that they always like doing, jumping the gun on their opponent.
So agad iwanan, no, from the get-go. But Malabunga commits a service error.
Second one for Kim.
Yeah.
A UAAP champion, a national player.
Heads to the
Product
bench.
of Coach Dante Linsunurin also for the NU volleyball program.
Oh, that's inside for Billy Anima. A service ace. Nobody home to receive that for Criss Cross.
Misread by Jude Garcia. Billy Anima at 1 point played off the bench, and the third and final set in their first match.
But then commits a service error after that ace.
1 of 2. They'll take it, but they'll still be behind by 5 points. Marami-rami ring errors na para sa Alpha dito sa ating unang set, no? A lot of attack errors.
Not helping their cause right now. They're down by 5. Oh, and that's an ace for Francis Saura, who will bring us to the second technical timeout. Criss Cross up by 6.
isa sa mga part ng mindset namin is to go out with your 100%, kung kayang 200% talagang ilabas namin every game, every set, every point. Na-influence mo yung team to do better, to move well, and dun lumalabas din yung leadership ng bawat isa kasi you lead by example through your actions inside the court.
Ish Polvorosa is one of the leaders of this team, has been that reliable setter for Coach Ty Bundit. Saura continues to serve. Apolinario goes
Nice.
to Sabanal,
Yes,
way above the blockers.
Started with that good pass. And all Apolinario needed to do was locate Sabanal. Going to zone 6. 11 in the set. Nadera coming in for Cajolo. Nadera, their first match. Came off the bench in set 1. Played in set 3 as a starter, scored 6 points.
Jerome Lopez now in the game, serving for Alpha Insurance. 1-2 doesn't work. Ilipat sa kabila. Havelona will try. Checked again. Third try. And third time's the charm for Alpha Insurance as Nadera scores.
Less than a minute inside, scores his first point. Another setter here, also coming in for Alpha, in Jesse Lopez.
Polvorosa goes to Garcia and that drops.
Jerome Lopez, rather. Criss Cross stops a 2-point run here for the Protectors. Jerome Lopez also plays for San Beda University in the NCAA. Very tall setter. Smart playmaker. Good matchup with Ish Polvorosa.
Lopez will set up Nadera, goes down the line and it's in.
Seems to be a fearless competitor. Good spark from the second unit. Lopez locates Nadera. Line shot. Zone 1. Low prop. First
Pinabawi.
point, yes. Also a national player in his own right. Rexental played 1 set. Started out their last match, scored 2 points.
And that is checked at the net, but a violation called on Malabunga.
Huli sana on that piston play. Net touch brings Alpha to its 14th point, but still behind by 4. Biggest deficit earlier was at 6.
Polvorosa goes to Saura there,
Oh,
and
wow.
red by Camposano.
Very good read by Ed Camposano. That's good defense, turning that last offensive block into point number 15, down 3 on the 3-point run here.
Oh, that goes through for Jaron Riquinton.
Net touch
Oh, but a net violation.
again by Malabunga. 4-point run for Alpha.
So they're only within 2 points, talking about the Protectors. Yeah, on the way up, Malabunga clipped the bottom part of the net.
With his knee.
3-0 run for Alpha Insurance.
Buti na lang, sanay na tayo.
Not seen in the video yung pag-ilag ni Coach Ronnie. Mala-matrix yung...
Kasi naman sa dami ng inabot na. Part of the job. Oops. Errors hurting Criss Cross from getting to point number 20. Umangat yung error count. Nagbigay ng libreng punto sa Alpha na ngayon ay threatening
Vince Nadera out of FEU commits a service error.
In the first match of Alpha against Signal, most points that they scored in the first 2 sets against Signal was 16. 15 in set 1, 16 in set 2, until they turned the third set into a thriller, accounting for 23 third set points.
Criss Cross 5 points away from taking set number 1. Lopez will go to Camposano, who again scores for Alpha Insurance, and they are still in this game, only down by 2 in the opening set.
Jerome Lopez doing a good job, making it difficult for the defense to read what they're running. Camposano able to recover after struggling early.
Oh, that is shut down by Javelona. And they're only down by a single point.
Down to 1 from high of 6.
Camposano with a serve here. 19-20 in the opening frame. They go to Nadera on the drop. Sauda read it. Ish goes to Garcia, and
Wow.
Jude powers it through.
Of a broken play. Garcia says no problem, have no fear. Jude is here, 2-point lead once more after almost a tied scoreline at 20. Tembagalay coming in.
.21 serving 19. To the middle they go. Pemi will set up the play to Garcia, but that is sent back.
Was tentative in that last hit. Excellent defense for the Protectors.
Subdivision Alpha Insurance, 3 out, 16. Abunya.
Starter in their last game, designated serve specialist Abunyawan, will try to attempt and tie the scoreline at 21.
That's in. Polvorosa. Oh, Ish was lost as Intal was blocked, and we are tied at 21 all.
Down 6. Swimming against the stream, but eventually finding ways to tie the count at 21.
And a timeout called by the King Crunchers.
One good receive ulit. 10 point doing. Hindi pa lagyan. Sige, ano tayo kuya? Tuloy. Ano niyo pa? Huwag pa yan, get 1 point.
Still no Isay Marasigan today. Couple of more weeks to recover from a dislocated finger. Nico Almendras is in harness. We haven't seen him so far fielded.
But he's in his uniform, in his warmers, so he could suit up and play if needed. But that one is out.
He went for it.
Yeah.
You heard the sound.
Unfortunate as they were making a run here. And just as we mentioned, Joel Asia and Nico Almendras,
Doubles up.
the newlywed. Oh, congratulations
Of
to
course.
Nico Almendras. Missed the last game because of his wedding, but his teammates followed right after that game.
To celebrate.
Oh, nag-celebrate sila sa Batangas. And now, back to business. Javelona checked. They go back to JJ. Push. Sumanggid with a save. Asia goes to Almendras. Just like he didn't miss any game from the King Crunchers.
Did not miss a beat. First touch. First point. Back to a 2-point lead. Timeout for the Protectors.
Simplihan lang natin ang play natin. Okay? Unang-una, pasahan natin. Pagkapasa, patakbuhin mo si Ray, si back row sa gitna. Ha? Babaan mo lang yung bola mo. Kailangan mabilis ang bola natin. Pag tinaas mo yan, tatatluin tayo sa gitna niyan. Ha? Tara, tara. Kapitan natin yung pasa. Kapitan natin yung pasa. Let's go. Sige lang. Let's go.
Timeout called by Coach Mike Santos. His team down by 2 after making a run to tie the game up at 21 all, but Criss Cross responding with back-to-back points. First, the service error from Abunyawan, and then Almendras with the attack, and a block by Rex Sintal.
And this is what good teams are able to do. React correctly, execute positive things when they feel and sense clear and present danger. Offensive block.
Just like that, Criss Cross is at set point. Starters will check back in, Apolinario and Cajolo.
Sayang yung hinabol na 6, ano? How they gave up 3 straight.
Yeah.
A service error.
And it'll be Jewel Asia to serve for Criss Cross, 24-21.
Cool na kulang kapitan. Service error, a Nico Almendras point, and that last offensive block.
Apolinario backsets to Cajolo. It's short.
Yes.
The attack error that leads to the set 1 win for the King Crunchers.
Tied at 21. Behind by 6 previous to that scoreline of a deadlock. But giving up the last 4 points to be down by a set against the powerhouse unit of the Criss Cross King Crunchers.
We'll give you set number 2 after the break. In Manila for your Spikers Turf Open Conference, and we are done with set number 1. As we take a look at the highlights of what happened there, Coach Johnny, looked like it was going to be a comfortable set 1 win until Alpha Insurance made that run, but at the end gave up 4 of the last points to Criss Cross.
That's correct. The entry of Jerome Lopez really stabilized the offensive flow of the Protectors. But eventually, when push came to shove, once again, the winning experience, the composure came alive. Jewel Asia, Nico Almendras helped out in scoring the last 4 points. Look at the numbers, massive offensive onslaught. Although nakabawi naman sa dulo yung Protectors. And even in the end, those skill blocks that they registered were enough to propel them to tie the count at 21 all. But then comes a strong finish, something that they will have to learn eventually. And that's something that Criss Cross was able to impose against them. Right now, King Crunchers up by a set against the Alpha Protectors.
And our scorers for both teams, for the Criss Cross King Crunchers, it's Jude Garcia leading with 6 in total.
Could have been more, no?
Yeah.
Could have been more.
Malabung has 5, Requinton has 3. And for Alpha Insurance, Camposano with 4, Anima with 3, and Cajolo with a couple of points to his name.
Lopez starting out the set. So lineup inside for Coach Santos.
So we begin set number 2 here on One Sports Plus and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco together with Coach Ronnie Magsanok covering this one. And more updates at the sidelines from Denise Valdesancho later on. It'll be Ish Polvorosa who will begin this set number 2.
Earlier in the day, Navy Sea Lions were able to get their first win already.
Yeah. After losing to the Spin Doctors of Savoj in straight sets on
Correct.
opening day,
On day 1.
which you covered, Coach Ronnie.
First match. This is match number 6, play date number 2. Only 16 play dates comprising this particular conference, which will end sometime April 6 or April 8.
So lahat actually in opening day, all of the games ended in straight sets. And earlier we got our first 5-setter. Camposano starts off with a strong hit on the left pin.
5 in the match for Camposano. Going cross court. Tremendous diagonal delivery.
First point is set 2 to Alpha Insurance. Service.
That's over-received, but good cover by Sumanggid.
Wow.
And Saura able to score as they reward the effort of their libero.
Also a decorated libero in his own right. Yes, sir. We saw that. Thumbprint all over that last point.
Lopez. Oh, Camposano did not like that set. Will give up a free ball. Sumanggid with a setup to Garcia. Sumang again with a pickup. Ish. Reverse to Requinton, but that is sent back.
I think he stepped on the line. On the pipe.
Anima with a serve. They go to Saura this time. Off the block. Hits the antenna and a point for Criss Cross.
Very dependable. And extremely consistent.
Two all here. In set number 2, they go to Cajolo.
nice.
Cross-court hit.
Had about 2 errors in terms of attacks earlier. That scores his first point. Good misdirection by the middle hitter. His own version of a cross-court hit.
Former UP Fighting Maroon, who also played for FU back in high school.
Tangkad. Napakataas ng vertical.
However, commits the service error. So we are tied at 3 apiece. Saura serving. Oh, that's on the line. On the money for Francis Saura with a service ace.
I saw something like that earlier in the previous game. Kumiling, you know. Whoop, tapos sakto.
Whoa. Swerving
Yes.
and dropping right in. Another serve here for Saura. Binantayan na ni Javelona. JJ goes up and down it goes.
Again. Going cross court to elude the blockers. So our defense has to be better right now for Criss Cross or improve their blocking efficiency.
We see the entry of Gian Glorioso, one of the best middle blockers from last Invitational Conference.
Correct. Minted during that conference. His best.
Yeah. Replaces Rex Intal. Oh, but a good serve. Kept alive though. Free ball for the guys in green. No, Lopez tried to be crafty, but to no avail.
Lost opportunity. That's all I can say. Might be costly.
5-4 is our score. Officially led by Criss Cross. Lopez goes back to Camposano.
Swipe.
There's a touch. Yep.
It's not all about power. It's reading the defense. And Coach Tai Bundit issuing some technical corrections in terms of their blocking.
Five all in in set number 2. Ish goes to Requinton. Through the block. And it's in for Jaron Requinton.
Up and away for Jaro Quinton. Named as the top player of the game in their first win. Picking up where he left off. High attack rate for the Quinton. At almost 50% at 12 of 27.
Glorioso to serve 6-5. Free ball. Polvorosa goes to Kim Malabunga.
Look at the adjustment by Polvorosa. In midair, bending. This one. Good misdirection. Good collaboration with Malabunga, who scored heavily in this game.
Lopez. Back row for Cajolo. It's out. But there was a net violation
Again?
on Criss Cross. They will challenge for a net fault. Our second referee saying that it might have clipped someone who turned their back after the block attempt. So let's see on the replay. But all of the players nakita natin, they were talking amongst themselves kung meron bang nakatama. They were quite sure.
There's a challenge by Criss Cross on the last wing for net fault.
A challenge called by the King Crunchers. Some confusion on the court. But as it stands, it's Criss Cross who are calling the challenge. From what we hear at the...
Because the call was made as a net touch against Criss Cross.
Against Criss Cross. But I think what the discussion is that parang yung buzzer nang galing sa side ng ng Alpha Insurance na nagkakalituhan. But they will check it. That's what they're doing right now. As the players await the big board and see the replay. That was the attack by Cajolo. Went out, but a net violation was called. The players having fun with Coach Tai Bundit. So that was Requinton when he twisted his body mid-air. Manipis, but that is indeed a net violation.
Point goes to Alpha. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
1 point lead remains here for Criss Cross.
Polvorosa goes back to Malabunga.
Wow. Missed time by Cajolo. Again.
So we go to the first technical timeout.
Yes, coming off a rescue.
Power meets passion. Yes, gentlemen, it's a pleasure seeing Nico Almendres back on the mat finally after his wedding celebration. And for him, it's back to business as usual. Pero may cheerleader today as his wife is present here to watch. Nico Almendres actually missed 3 days of training and just got back yesterday. Pero wala naman daw siyang masyadong naging adjustment. Basta matawag, his mindset will always be to just be present and be 100% and do 100% rather of what he can. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Denise, for that
Congratulations.
update. Congratulations again to Mr. and Mrs. Almendras. And
Check.
Added inspiration for this match. Caholo, make sure that's inside so that no challenge is needed.
That has been their antidote, the remedy that they have been able to do collectively. Go cross court after being blocked numerous times in that set 1 loss.
Camposana has 6 points in this game. Polvorosa to Saura.
Smart, very smart. Very smart, beating the libero. Coverage was late. Yet again, every time the point seems to go Alpha's way, Criss Cross finds a way to pocket at that point.
Nine serving 7 here in the second set. Lopez quick to Anima.
Yes.
Polvorosa with a reflex.
On that shoot.
They redo. It's a
very
bit low.
low.
Yeah. Ish goes middle, and Malabunga was ready.
And you like the aggression of Polvorosa. Why wait? Why wait for the defense to set? Soft touch. Again, the Polvorosa-Malabunga connection, helping them erase an early deficit and put them 3 points clear of the protectors.
Now a 3-point game. Misreceived, broken play.
Oh,
And Caholo couldn't get it through.
up 2, down 4, 6-point swing. Criss Cross making full use out of the numerous errors happening to the protectors. We call timeout.
Apat lang yung lamang. Diba? Nagkakaproblema lang naman tayo sa passing. Pagdali sa attacking, kung ma-receive natin ng maayos, nakaka-convert naman tayo eh. Diba? Diba yung pa natin yung pasa natin? Ha? Run mo lang yung play. Sige. Sure.
Eh, Alba! Sa akin, nasa akin yan.
Timeout called by Coach Mike Santos. His team down by 4. And he wants to make sure that this lead doesn't get any bigger. Regenton will continue to serve for the King Crunchers.
Who are trying to impose their way once again here in set 2. Samantala naghahanap ng isang service break itong Alpha.
Lopez to Javelona. Oh, collision between Ish and Jude. They're slow to get up. And that ball goes back to their side. They weren't prepared.
Hindi nakaayos yung depensa. Oh, slow to get up. Slow to get back to their defensive spots. So they get a side out. Cuts the lead to 3. Long way to go here in set number 2.
This was the play. The block. A little too late on that dive. Polvorosa goes to Malabunga, and that's been efficient.
Until such time that the Alpha protectors defend the middle, Ish Polvorosa will continue to milk that point of attack. And the executioner, it's Kim Malabunga. Close to 10 points already for Kim.
12-8. Oh, service error though for Malabunga.
3-point given up here by Kim Malabunga.
9 serving 12. Rans Caholo will serve. Ish to Garcia on the flyby.
Excellent pass. Masterful hit. for the 13-point scorer. Back-to-back MVPs. For the double, Southeast Asian Games bronze medalist in beach volleyball.
Saura with 6 points. That's out.
Another service error, back-to-back here for Criss Cross. One for Malabunga, another for Francis Saura. Two former Bulldogs.
Ish goes to Glorioso on the
Well
soft
read.
touch. Back row. Oh,
Net
there's a net
touch.
violation. And Javelona had to alter his attack because he was close to the attack line. And then that one, they were able to draw a net violation on the side of Criss Cross. They will try to get it back. Garcia is denied. Oh, but there's a net touch.
Sila naman. 3-point lead. King Crunchers at exciting times here. This point of the set. Oh, clear as day.
Oh, someone's leg. Isa sa tatlo.
Oh,
Entangled on that play. Garcia now has 8 points.
what a serve.
Balik sa Criss Cross ang bola. Polvorosa goes to Saura. Popped up by Javelona. Camposano, easy over. Criss Cross again. They go to Glorioso. That is slowed down. Lopez, the reverse.
Oh, nice.
To Caholo and two guys, Garcia and Sumangid. That lands in between them.
Deep enough. Beyond reach. 12 in the set. Lead down to 2. From high of 4.
Requinton covered by Garcia on their turn. Jaron again on a higher
Nice.
contact than the
Yes.
ball.
Looping it over the blockers. And again, it's the gift of having that kind of a vertical. On the reload, scores, register, point number 15. Meaning for Criss Cross as a team.
And 5 for Requinton. Camposano, oh, saved by Glorioso. Garcia is denied on a triple block, but Sara was there for the pickup. Oh, there's a challenge.
Which is what? For what?
Alpha Insurance calls a net fault challenge. Their turn to see if there is a net fault on the side of Criss Cross, and for them to press that buzzer while the rally is ongoing, they might be sure of what they saw. So let's see how this will go for Alpha Insurance, who are down 1 set and trailing in this set 2 as well. Tough schedule for this new team, having to face Signal and Criss Cross back to back. But also something that, you know, they could look at as a positive,
As a
where
learning
after
curve.
them, diba, pwede
Saka wala ka namang iiwasan. Talagang dadaanan mo
Yeah.
lahat. Ito lang ang mahirap. Magkasunod at baptism of fire pa na lumalabas.
Oh. That is actually a weird challenge because
It was against them.
unsuccessful challenge.
Bottom line is, King Crunchers won that last point.
And we go to the second technical timeout.
Siguro po, yung advice ko lang po sa kanila na every training na dapat maganda lagi na pakita sa team na committed, pakita kala coach na gusto talaga nila yung team namin yun. Kasi sobrang ikli talaga nung preparasyon namin. So, then, ako bilang matanda, siguro yung leadership. Ayun, leadership.
After the second technical timeout, score is 16-12 and some discussion still on that previous
Kaya nga
challenge.
bottom line na yung sinasabi ko parati din. Kung hindi, gugulo. To simplify things.
Glorioso with a serve. Lopez goes to Camposano. And it drops for Edward.
Well played. Well run by Lopez. Isolating Camposano. This one on the misdirection by Billy Anima.
Down by 3 are the protectors. Camposano and his numbers. Ish goes to the middle. Again to the running Malabunga.
The tomahawk continues for Kim Malabunga. This one, excellent pass. Slide. And the angle taken. Away from the blocker.
Good serve, over-received. Malabunga couldn't put it away.
Uy, that was
Push.
close.
Requenton waits for it. Then down it goes for Jared.
Pulling away a 5. Tremendous power coming from Jared Quinton.
5-point lead for the King Crunchers. Lopez to Caholo, had to use his offhand. They go to Malabunga again, and why not?
Told you, they will not stop. Ish will not stop until such time that they are able to contain. Kim Malabunga now was 11 of the 44 Criss Cross points. Bigat.
And a 3-0 run for the King Crunchers to establish a 6-point lead. Camposano, sent back. A tip. At the peak of that ball, Malabunga continues to add to his total.
Now it's
12 and counting.
7 in the set. That's 7 of the 20. Coming from mighty Kim. First taste of action for Casas. Francis Casas did not play in the first match of the Insurance Protectors.
Coach Mike looking for answers. But first, they're able to stop that service of Ish Polvorosa.
Looking for an ace. Going for the line.
Still a 6-point lead for the King Crunchers.
Yes, giving a push. Talk about Ish Polvorosa's leadership and steadiness.
Casas, who just checked in with a serve. That's short this time for Kim Malabunga. One of the few and rare errors that he's had outside of the service line.
2 straight points here for the green shirts.
Back-to-back points for Alpha Insurance. Saura breaking the block.
Galing tumiming ni Francis Saura, no? Basang-basa yung depensa. Hindi naman talagang nakukubabawan. Hindi talagang angat na angat, pero on the contact, that one. Beating the blockers. Hindi nakapress yung block doon.
Anima read by Malabunga. Havilona will try. Sumanggid with a save. Kim again.
And the teamwork again between Polvorosa and Malabunga. They missed one earlier in that Malabunga-Polvorosa collaboration. Look at the twist. The fast eyes, the vision, and then this one.
Oh, Polvorosa exploiting
Yes.
that middle.
The degree of difficulty as well.
So that's a point for the King Crunchers. Jaron Requinton with an ace.
They were down by 2, now on top by 8. 10-point turnaround in their favor. More dominant here in this set after a close call in set number 1, wherein they won by just 4 points at 25-21.
Lopez shoots to Javelona. Off the block and out. So they need more of that. Another change for Alpha Insurance.
Came off the bench in set number 3, talking about Romelito Baptista did not score against the Signal HD Spikers. Nico Almendras coming in. Will try to be the closer once again.
Yeah. Just like in the first set. Oh, miscommunication. Alpha Insurance can take advantage, but
Good save.
Malabunga able to save. Garcia kept alive by the green shirts. Cajolo again and the power tip.
Good single play against the defense of Jude Garcia. Fine job by Javelona as well to get Cajolo that last ball.
6 more points. Kim. Alpha Insurance again with a chance. And a free point for Javelona. That's 3 straight points for the Protectors to cut the lead down to 5, which forces Coach Tai to call for a timeout. Timeout called by the King Crunchers. They want to close this one out.
As fast as they can.
Yeah, 2 more points. Oh, that's over and out
Freezing the server.
Baptista.
Ganun-ganun lang. 6 set points na ito.
And Criss Cross at set point. Femi Bagalay will check in.
May fans club si Fem Bagalay.
And very hardworking Femi Bagalay and Jude Garcia, nag-assistant coach pa yan kanina sa FEU Men's volleyball team, who, by the way, beat the NU Bulldogs in the UAAP. It's their turn to play on the Taraflex.
Oops.
Oh, that is
Nice.
through. Javelona gets a point. They're able to save a set point.
Broken play, not a problem for Javelona. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. But they still are behind by 5 set points in set number 2.
Vince Nadera checks back in. Jem Apolinari will be tasked to serve. Has to be flawless from here on.
Correct.
It's in. Ish goes to Glorioso on the finisher here in set number 2.
A rich source of points. The middle blockers, until such time that they are contained. And I'm sounding like a broken record. Ish will continue to milk that point of attack.
And Gian gets the final say in set number 2. Criss Cross Spikers Turf Open Conference as we take a look at the highlights of what happened in set number 2. A more dominating set for the King Crunchers. In this set, we saw Jude Garcia continue to rack up the points for Criss Cross, but it was Kim Malabunga who did the most damage for the King Crunchers. Ish Polvorosa, look at this set to Kim Malabunga. More and a lot of those for those two in set number 2. As we take a look at the numbers, and Criss Cross leading the attack department 17-11. The blocks were led by Alpha Insurance playing well at the net, and a couple of service aces for the King Crunchers. Both teams limiting their errors, only had 5 apiece in set number 2. But ultimately, it was the King Crunchers who delivered despite some of the moments of the Protectors. Arena Plus Astigsa Sports. See some of the faces in the venue joining us this Sunday night. And we see Miss Eleanor Navarro and Mr. Ricky Palu also joining us inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum of Sports Vision.
Tambak, yes sir.
So we are about to begin the third set here on One Sports Plus and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco with Coach Ronnie Magsanok and Denise Valdesancho, your broadcast team for this one. Criss Cross looking to close this one out and maintain a clean slate both in record and in sets. Meanwhile, Alpha Insurance will hope to make more adjustments and get their first set here in the Spikers Turf. It will be Lopez who will start us off at the service line. And Garcia will draw first blood in the third set. Jude providing the scoring for the King Crunchers. Now has 9 points. Requinton, though, sends that long, commits a service error for Criss Cross. Camposano will be the one to serve for Alpha Insurance. He is.
The captain is back.
The top scorer as well for Alpha Insurance. Oh, that is an ace off of the violation from Ish Polvorosa. They go to Malabunga once more.
What else is new? Except it's a brand new set. Can Malabunga continues to wreak havoc at that spot. May sablay paminsan-minsan pero mas madalas ay puntos.
Bump set to Javelona. Goes cross court, but it was wide.
Wide open to score. Could not get that shot to drop in. Looking for a cut shot. 2 straight points here for the King Crunchers.
Oh, that clips the net. And Malabunga gets an ace. Eh, onting awa pa dun.
It's really Kim's night.
Everything going right for him.
For Kim. And of course for the King Crunchers.
Cajolo denied by Jude Garcia.
Working hard defensively. Offensive block once more for the 2-time Spikers Turf MVP.
Up top, down hard. Javelona able to score.
Missed one earlier. Scores on the reload. 3 in the set. Alpha Protectors.
Billy Anima heads to the service line. Playing his first conference. The spiker serve outside of Lasal. That is short for Saura.
Attack error for Francis Saura. 2 straight points for the Protectors. Raises their scoring output to 4.
Glorioso.
Will miss.
That's out.
3 straight points. Tied at 5.
We are tied at 5.
Billy Anima continues to serve. Ish goes to Jude, and Garcia will score.
Abundant scoring options for Ish Polvorosa to work with. Jude Garcia to the rescue once more.
And Chu Injiga will see action for the first time, replacing Glorioso. Saura. Lopez. So Injiga trying to go for it. Jude again. Picked up by Camposano. Good cover. Back with the white shirts. They go back row to the Quinto and popped up. That was Manato with a pickup. And ultimately the point for the King Crunchers with Chu Injiga. Instant impact off the bench.
Under a minute. Scoring a point. 2 straight for Criss Cross. Comes off the bench. That's how loaded the roster is. Wala pa dyan si Isay Marasigan. Bahagya pa yung laro nitong si Nico Almendras. May Rex Intal pa.
Saura will commit the service error. This time, Nico Almendras will enter the set at an earlier time.
Correct.
In first 2 ay panapos.
Sa dulo, oo.
Rans Cahola waiting for the whistle to serve. It's 6-7. Service is short for Caholo. And that will bring us to the first technical timeout here in set number 3. Criss Cross up.
Welcome back. You're watching the Spiker Surf Open Conference 2025. This is the last match of this Sunday triple header, Criss Cross versus Alpha Insurance Protectors. Dip, Coach Ronnie. Coach Mike of the Alpha Insurance Protectors is finally present today physically since he missed their last match for PBL duties. And finally having the chance to talk to him nang makuha niya raw yung invitation to coach. He knows that the challenge talaga yung gelling the team. Kaya nung kinausap niya yung players that he personally handpicked, up front he told them hindi pwedeng basta-basta lang kayong sumali. You are offered a good volleyball program. I mentioned handpicked dahil nga gusto raw ni coach na alagaan kung anong meron sila. Make these men flourish and help the Alpha Insurance Protectors make a name for themselves. Back to the panel.
Thank you, Denise, for that report. Coach Mike previously handled the Navy Sea Lions as well prior to this conference. As we see this rally exchange, Almendras gets the point.
Very productive on his minimal floor time. And look at the smile on Mrs. Almendras. Makuha ka sa tingin, sabi ni ma'am. Very proud of what Nico has accomplished in his young volleyball career, from college all the way to the PBL, or rather all the way to the Spikers turf.
Continues. Oh, but there is a violation. Quinton thought he had it, but a net violation called against him.
It happens.
So a lull here as they have to properly make the substitution between Anima and Manato. You will have to stay on the floor. Talking about Billy Anima.
Nakailang ganyan na tayo ngayon.
And they are joking that he should get the first ball, and he does so in that instance. Almost a point for Alpha Insurance. Another crack at it. They go to Camposano. And that is a point for Alpha Insurance, who are enjoying that sequence.
And Billy Anima can finally.
Oh, playing with the ball. Look at this. So it's only a 1-point game. Alpha Insurance down by 1. And Jiga with a score.
And a smile to boot. A familiar combination. Valorosa and Jiga. And again, the middle hitters getting the job done here for the King Crunchers all match long.
Service for Injiga through. Camposano.
Nice.
Avoiding the blockers with that strong hit.
Easily the top gun for Alpha Protectors. Knowledge leader. Cut shot.
Ish on the 1-2. Quickly sent back. Camposano again. Anima with a save. Play continues. Nadera, that is out. With no check and a point for the King Crunchers.
Gigil na gigil si Nadera.
Some breathing room for Criss Cross. In a closer set this time. Oh, that's saved. Play continues. Almendras. At violation on Alpha Insurance.
That's a very powerful hitter. Almendras is. Look at the full swing and the body twist.
That was on Lopez.
Parang mga 10 pins na nahulog isa-isa.
Garcia knew where that ball was going. Quinton denied by Camposano.
And so did Camposano. Another ambush by Camposano. Putting Alpha in double figures here in set number 3. Behind by 2 sets. Ang maganda rito sa Alpha. Laban ng laban.
They are putting up a fight. Oh, Quinton. And again, a net touch.
Called against Billy Anima.
Last second pickup. Nadera.
Tight.
Joust.
Very tight. Overpass.
So point awarded to the King Crunchers, who now are up by 4 points.
14 serving 10.
7 for the Quinton. 15 in their first win. Just 2 days ago.
Camposano targets the end zone. It was called out, but they will challenge.
Challenge by Alpha Insurance on the last play for ball out.
Ball in or out for the Protectors. As we await the replay. Alpha Insurance Protectors, their first conference here in the Spikers turf. A mix of familiar names and faces from the UAP.
Very good individual
NCAA.
players, but of course it always takes time to build chemistry and finish the gelling process.
And that looks like it will go in.
Challenge successful point and serve to the Protectors.
Right on the line. And a successful challenge for Coach Mike Santos and company as they cut the lead down to 3.
Could have been up to 5.
They go back to Malabunga.
Again. Just to be clear, this is not the first set. What you see is present, and that has been Kim Malabunga's bread and butter.
16 points now for Kim Malabunga as he goes to the service line. Lopez back sets to Nadera. Ish was there for the pickup. Kim with a set
Did you
to
see that?
Almendras. Oh, 2 guys flying for that.
Oh, there were 3? That's a bullet by Nadera. No wonder. Very aggressive. That was a lost opportunity, though, for the King Crunchers. Wow.
Catching Polvorosa and Riquenton.
Yes, straight to in between zones 1
Yeah.
and 6.
They go to Garcia. Oh, good coverage by Sumanggid. Oh, but Riquenton. Too soft and short on the return.
13 serving 15.
Out of system.
Serving 15. Back set. Almendras connects. And will send us to the second technical timeout of this set.
That's
They're up
hardly missed, no? Nico Almendras. Tremendous.
16-13.
Mas masakit kaya matalo ng games lalo na sa championship. So yun yung pinakamasakit. Pero gagawin namin yun na as a motivation para bumalik sa Spikers turf at makapasok ulit sa finals at makuha yung championship. So gagawin namin lahat kahit gaano kahirap yung training para makuha yung championship title.
Well, the goal for Francis Saura and the King Crunchers to get back into the final scene and hopefully win their first championship as a franchise here in the Spikers turf.
We're very clear about it, even if we are just in our second play date. That's the ultimate mission for them. A lot of action still has to be played. Only second of 16 play dates comprising this open conference this season.
14 serving 16. Service. Don Nadella.
Garcia waits for it.
That's a miss. Down to 1.
But just like that, Alpha Insurance back in it.
This is a player with a bundle of energy, Nadera.
That's short. Unfortunate for Alpha Insurance, who were making a comeback.
1 of 2.
Garcia with 12 points on 10 attacks and 2 blocks with a serve. Oh, but that is a service error for Jude.
Keeps Alpha close. Too many errors in the set for Criss Cross.
Multiple, keeping Alpha Insurance within distance. They go to Njiga.
And again, the blocking of Alpha along that line has been almost non-existent. Let's see how Njiga will fare from the service line.
Has had a couple of points off the bench here in set number 3. Goes for that serve. It's out. Back to a 1-point lead as we near the end stretch of set number 3. Sabanal with a serve.
A short one.
Ish. Goes to Jaron. And Riquinton scores for Criss Cross.
Malabunga was a magnet for one of the blockers.
Yes.
And Polvorosa saw that clearly. Went to Riquinton instead.
14 excellent sets for Polvorosa.
Back-to-back strong outings for Ish Polvorosa.
He tosses it to Riquinton again, and a point for Jaron.
Why not go back to Riquinton? And Riquinton gladly obliges. Solid. Scores against the double block. Attacks the defense of Jerome Lopez for a 2-point run and a 3-point lead.
Dalawa. Hiwalay mo. Back row tayo. Pwede ka sa back row. Ha? Pwede sa gitna. Sige. Kailangan natin mga sa pasa. Ha? Neil, kailangan natin pasa. Tara. Kaya natin ito. Sigaw.
Okay, trabahin lang natin.
Sarte mo eh. Silip muna.
Alpha!
Protectors!
Timeout called by Coach Mike Santos.
They needed one. Isay Marasigan. Meron pang injury.
Also missed by his teammates, a broken pinky. He is recovering from that injury.
Another service error.
Hopefully will be back in time for the semifinals if they go on to march to that next round, which 2 wins could be big already because of what we mentioned na 6 na team lamang for this conference. That's going to be a point for Garcia. Three-point advantage for Criss Cross. Riquinton will serve. Oh, that's a good one. And an ace for Jaron Riquinton to put the King Crunchers up by 4.
Late in the set. Kanina pa isa-isa lang yan. Bakit? Sa dami ng service errors nila. Will they be able to replicate another strong finishing kick?
Lopez goes to Camposano. It's inside. And the point for Edward.
Called in by the rest of the King Crunchers.
Down by 3 points are the Protectors. But Criss Cross also 3 points away from winning this one. Let's see what they do here. Ish goes back.
Came again.
Check.
Check. Check na check. Excellent pass. Bagalay once again. They try to close out this set and the match. Up 4, late in set 3.
Back set to Nadera on the cross-court hit.
Not too fast, says Nadera. And Nadera will be a force to reckon with in the near future here in the Spikers turf. Explosive hitter.
Serving 23 in the service area. Roman Bautista.
20 serving 23. Ish goes to Njigha. That's too long. No touch.
Down to 2. Wide open for Njigha.
And a chance still for Alpha Insurance with Baptista on deck to serve. 21-23. Oh, but that's out.
A good matrix move by Rickenton.
Crucial error for him, which puts Criss Cross at match point. And there will be 3 match points needed to be saved by the Protectors. It's Nico Almendras at the service line. Best outside spiker from the last Invitational Conference.
Oh.
That's out for Javelona, and that does it as the Criss Cross King Crunchers win this one in straight sets, their second victory in the 2025 Open Conference of the Spikers turf.
And again, the finishing kick, the composure, the ability to gain separation when the threat looms clear. And it's all about consistency. And then the leadership of Ish Polvorosa and the dominance of Kim Malabung.
They haven't dropped a game. They haven't dropped a single set. So a clean slate for the King Crunchers, whose goal is to get back into the finals and hopefully get to the top. Our final scores 25-21, 25-19, 25-21. The Alpha Insurance Protectors will regroup as they cap off a tough 2-game schedule against Signal and Criss Cross. We'll be back to wrap this one up and talk more about the game after the break.
Welcome back. We are live here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum, and you just witnessed a 3-set victory between the Criss Cross King Crunchers and the Alpha Insurance Protectors. I'm beside the player of the game, Kim Malabunga. Kim, congratulations. You had 17 points, 13 attacks, 2 blocks, and 2 aces. Kim, unang-una, no, we can't deny the fact na the Alpha Insurance, they put a good fight, no? But there were moments na there were kumbaga, isa na lang yung lamang, no? May mga ganong deficit na lang. So, ano yung mga adjustments na ginawa nyo para hindi sila makalamang?
Siguro yung sa adjustment namin, mas kinapitan na namin yung game ngayon kasi like pinaghirapan namin yung game ngayong araw eh.
Yeah.
Like yung mga nakarang araw, grabe yung training namin para sa game na to. Sa kahit sa ibang game naman.
Kim, you were on fire today. Tanong ko lang, no, what gave you this extra boost to give out this amazing stats today?
Siguro na-motivate na ako sa mga teammate ko kasi parang lagi nila kami na-motivate sa training na wag tamarin kasi kailangan namin manalo, ganyan. So, nagpapasalamat ako sa mga teammate ko.
Kim, anybody pa o sino pa yung gusto mong pasalamatan for this game today?
Pinapasalamatan ko po yung management namin sa Ribis ko, sa Criss Cross, yung mga managers po namin, and yung pong family po ng mga teammates ko, and yung family ko po. Hello po.
Again, this is our player of the game, Kim Malabunga of the Criss Cross King Crunchers. Now I'm turning it over to the panel.
Thank you, Denise. There you have it, our player of the game, a whopping 17 points for Kim Malabunga, who is extra motivated by his teammates of the King Crunchers. Kaya nagkakahawaan at ganun yung energy ng Criss Cross.
And I thought that he dominated in every set that he played. From start to finish, he was on point. At sabi nga ni Kim, bawal tamarin. At siya ang isa sa pinakamasipag sa pangalawang sunod na panalo, sa pangalawang playdate ng ating batang-batang Open Conference.
As we take a look at the numbers in set number 3.
Despite of the fact that they gave up 12 of the 21 points of the Protectors, coming off unforced errors, yung dominance sa kanilang opensa, litaw na litaw. Ish Polvorosa in firm control and full control of anything and everything that they wanted to run. Too much offensive weapons. At ang maganda sa kanila, a lot of two-way players who are excellent with their floor defense. And the teamwork is very evident as well, given the discipline that Coach Tai Bundit has whipped this team into one solid unit, a disciplined unit, very tough to beat.
Yeah.
Amazing numbers, but more than that, once again, consistent fighting form for the King Crunchers.
And so far, so good for Criss Cross, who are now at 2 wins and 0 losses. Our games will continue on Wednesday as we transfer back to the United Sports Arena in Pasig. It's Alpha Insurance going up against Savoj Spin Doctors at 1 p.m. followed by the Navy Sea Lions and Criss Cross King Crunchers at 3:30. And then our final game will be between the VNS Griffins and the Signal HD Spikers. So on behalf of our courtside reporter Denise Valdesancho, my partner Coach Ronnie Magsanok, this is Dip Dipiaco saying thank you for watching our 2025 Spiker Surf Open Conference, where power meets passion. See you on the next one here on Signal TV.